Okay, here is the process for when you're working a non-job specific job. So if you're, and this is, well, it's going to be to anybody really, but if obviously if there's a job associated with it, when I mean a job, I'm talking about if there's a job, like anything that you're going to put on this sheet that's a paying job where we're going to get income from it, then that's a job and you assign for that job. But if you're doing something, I would like everyone to track time, and you would like to track your time on anything you're doing outside of that. I don't want people working for free. I really appreciate everything you guys have done to help me out at this point. It is very, very appreciated. And I'm really hoping that this kickoff will get things going, and I can start sending you guys some good checks, and we start getting jobs coming in, and it's a good job for everybody. But um, I don't want people working for free, so every year there'll be a job file created, just like I've created here, and it will be based on the year. So Admore Consulting 2021, and the description is office work building. It's TNM, blah 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 blah. All that's filled out. But basically, the whole idea of creating all this crap is to assign a job number. So 21025 this year is the billing code that you'll use to make your entries on work done. So what you'll do is you'll take this number, copy it, Control C, and if I did some work, I'm going to put that in. I'm going to copy exact this here. And the reason why we wanted the exact is because if it's the same every time, it's way easier on the filter because there's only one. And you hit that one, and it brings up everything. So keep that. Um, when it's you'll obviously put your name in as the consultant name. So even if it's say Damien or whoever, like Damien, you'll put your name in here, even as a sales guy, because it just works with calculations better. And then you'll put my name as a sales. Okay. So that's how you'll fill out this section. The rest of it, obviously, is labor. Well, two things. So it's going to be all that, and for labor, you have an expense, and then it's never going to be income. So these are the two entries you'll make. And again, this video is about working non-job specific jobs. So those kind of jobs are anything like, I put together a brochure. Maybe you, um, maybe I asked you to write, descriptions or whatever, right? Anything that you're doing that's non-job specific, excluding, being specific, excluding the sales position in marketing efforts. The marketing efforts get paid out through signing jobs. So your marketing stuff to get more jobs and more opportunities, sign jobs, and then you get paid on every billable hour. So that stuff doesn't count. But anything outside of that I specifically asked, like, can you do this? That's kind of outside of the normal job description, which I went over in another video, is it gets billed here. So even for especially Joshua and Damien, anything you've done that you think would fall into that category, please go back if you feel like you want to get paid for it, which I would assume you would. Please go back and make entries for this stuff and put it on the sheet, please, because at this point, again, it's been a slow go at it, and I don't know who's done what exactly, but I know I want to kick this thing off and I want to get it going. But I would like to see what you've done, how many hours you spent, and yada yada yada. Joshua, I know you and I have talked specifically about a couple projects that went way over budget, and I'm trying to catch you up on other things. So keep that in mind. But whatever you feel like you've done for free and want to get compensated for it, please fill out that line. And you obviously just write whatever it is, make as many entries as you need to, put in labor, whatever date you did it, and then however many actual hours you worked would be great. And then you'll just get, well, yeah, put in your actual hours, I think. So it'll be, whatever your actual hours by 60. And then this is the amount here that you'll get paid for that stuff. If anyone has an issue with that, let me know. But I think that would probably be the best way to go about it. for now. So let me know what y'all think about that, please. And then for expenses, and I know a couple of you have done monitors or laptops or stuff. I want to start getting these jobs in that percentage that goes to the business and start paying back for anything that you guys have paid at this point. So any expense that you have, whether you buy, I don't want to buy, well, I want to take care of you guys. So whatever expense you have, if you're buying a ton of paper all the time, or if you're taking people out to lunch, or if you're spending a bunch of gas driving out to jobs and stuff, please put those items in the expense column. Write out whatever it is, date you did it, and then for the expense item, you're not going to do, we're not going to mark up the expense or whatever, but you're going to do 100% of whatever the expense was. So it's, you spent $500 on something, or 5,000 or whatever, and then see how it doesn't calculate over here. It's because there's no percentage on it. I'm paying, raw amount, whatever you spent, I'll reimburse you for. Um, and so please keep track of those things. And then obviously your name is very important. Please keep these copied and pasted so it's easier to find and pay. And then payroll will pay it out. And then of course, as the business grows, and the whole idea is I'm taking almost no profit. I'm not living on this money. You guys are getting paid for what you do, and the business is getting paid about as much as everyone's getting paid. Is going back into the business account. To the idea is to have cash flow to pay you guys back for these things, or to make it to where hopefully at some point I would like everyone to have a credit card where you don't have to, like we'll probably have some kind of signing limit, like you can spend $1,000 without telling me, or $5,000 without telling me, and like some kind of parameters like that. And then what I want is I only want people working for me that I trust, because I don't want to, uh, what's it called? I'm lost for words. When you micromanage, I don't want to micromanage anyone. I don't want to have to babysit anybody. I want you guys to have free reign. I want you to love what you do. I want you to make a bunch of money, and I don't want to. I don't want to babysit you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you once a week when we have a meeting. I want to make sure that you're happy and that your jobs are going well and you don't have any questions. And obviously, if you have questions in between, then let me know. But as this thing builds, the idea is, eventually, I don't want you guys having any expense items unless some extenuating situation. I want everyone to have a credit card, but we are just simply not to that point. We have not had enough income. There's just not enough income. I've basically been funding most of this effort out of pocket, and I want to start getting income coming in. But once the business starts growing and that percentage starts going to the business, it'll get to the point where everyone has credit cards. They have a certain signing right, where they don't have to ask me for making payments. You can take clients out to lunch if you want to be networking with people. Like all this kind of stuff is good for me. If you want to go to lunch once a day with somebody, and because you're networking with them and you're getting jobs because of it, that's worth $20 a day on the business, because it'll just come out of marketing. It'll just come out of the marketing bucket anyway. And if we're getting work from it, then more money is going in the marketing bucket from the work we're getting. So it's just like that's the point I want to get to. But we're not there yet. For now, please backtrack anything this way, expense or labor that you put out, and track it on this sheet, please. And I've said it in other videos. I'm gonna say it again. This sheet is so important. I mean, this is what the business bills from. This is our income. This is your income. You know, this sheet is very important. Eventually, I want to. I've met a developer, an actual like program developer for apps and computer programs on Fiverr, and I think I can get this thing kind of transfused into a actual program of our own. But that's again down the line a little bit. So it's not always going to be on a Google sheet. It's not always going to be this hokey, if you will. But this is how we're tracking it now. It's very, very important. So please, please, please make sure you're updating this thing. It's kind of a big deal. All right. Thank you very much.